Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grumman Pilot's YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the Sparrowhawk Kit. Ken Blackman of AirModsNW made a set of baffles so that when you converted your Sparrowhawk to the 125 horsepower J2A engine, these helped the engine run cooler. He also produced seals and an oil cooler for it, so stay tuned as we explore all of this. I would like to ask you please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notify to stay current with our content. Now basically there's 8 pieces of metal and they go around your rocker covers. They also go on the back of the engine, and there's that little round tube there. It gets made into a brace for the front. But these are all what you got in the Baffle Seal Kit that he sold for $450. And when you consider the price of AirForms for an engine set of being more than $1,000, $450 doesn't sound so bad. He also produced the Baffle Seal sets for it, so that you could get the cut rubber seals that went with your baffles, so that now you got a good cool running engine when you converted it to the J2A configuration, which was 125 horsepower continuous. Really made quite a difference in the 0235. Just like it did for the Grummans, he did this for the Sparrowhawks. And the kit came with all the large head area rivets for installing the baffle seals. So not a bad deal. The baffle seals I think were $129. $450 for the baffles. And then he also had an oil cooler kit. It was basically 2 pieces that you bent into the proper shape from the diagrams. And then you could remote mount your oil cooler, which again helped your engine run cooler. And again, they form one of those little shells that go on the firewall and to direct the air through it to cool it. So those were the 3 things that Ken sold, were the baffle seals, the seals, and the oil cooler. Now let's look at the paperwork. Now, as you can see here, Ken's been doing this for quite a while, back when he was at AirMods, before it became AirModsNW and moved. But anyway, it starts out with all the approved spark plugs, both the long and the short reach that you can put along with firewire in your 0235 when it's been converted. So that's all very nice. And then he also gives you the cover letter of the STC for the conversion, and this is for the converting the 0235 L2C to the J2A configuration. Basically, you're putting in high compression pistons, you're going to need an oil cooler, you're going to need a Sense-inch propeller, and you're going to need probably a dynofocal mount engine if you can get it. But anyway, all the paperwork came when you ordered from Ken when you got the STCs. And if you ordered the full meal deal, he called it, with all the conversions, then you got the oil cooler, you got the baffle seals, and you got the baffles. And then the nice thing about all this paperwork is, you know, here it is back when it was all approved back in 1984. And there's a signature from Dave Wheeler. I'm going to say hello to Dave right there. Dave was also the flight instructor for AeroMods. He and Ken go way back. I've still talked to Dave now and then. But anyway, with all this stuff, you got an airframe manual, so that it was a supplement you could add to your manual showing you when you did the conversion what changed in terms of operating speeds, limits, RPMs, everything else you needed. The paperwork was all signed and notarized by Ken. And again, this is for the Sparrowhawk conversion, and this is for the 150 and 152 models. And believe me, 125 horsepower continuous behind that Sense-inch prop really makes a difference in the performance handling of the airplane. So this was all that the paperwork that came with the STC from Ken. I'm going to throw a little background music in here for you, let you watch through all the paperwork. I'll pick it up on the back end when they're going through some of the schematic diagrams that are too large. You would have to take them to a large format scanner, so stay tuned. Now, along with the baffle seals, which also have their own numbers, it came with a full set of drawings of how everything goes together, how the oil cooler fits in, how all the pieces get bent and drilled to do, and including how to make the little brace that you see right there going by. So again, it was a pretty complete package you bought from Ken back in the day. And again, the cost back from Ken back in those days was $450 in US dollars. So anyway, it had all the diagrams back there. They all fold out, so they will require a large format scanner for me to be able to get them into a PDF to be able to send them to folks if they are needed. But there was quite a bit, and everything has been labeled. It's all part of the STC package, and this is back from AirMods Corporation. So I know that I've been contacted over the years by a number of Cessna owners looking for the Sparrowhawk baffles that they talk about. Well, this video is going to be out there, and hopefully by looking for the name Sparrowhawk, you will find it. And again, these are the STCs by Kenneth Blackman. He used to be with AirMods Northwest, and it's for the model 152 in the A152 Aerobat. So again, it works for with the baffles and the seals for getting better engine cooling when you do the conversion, and that's advantageous for any airplane for the life of the engine. So ladies and gentlemen, we hope you found all this useful and informative. There's a few more pages I'm going to throw by here for you, but you kind of get the gist of it. And I'm going to throw a little music here, and I'll see you at the very end. So ladies and gentlemen, there's the AirMod Sparrowhawk conversion that was all talked about. We hope you found it useful and informative. Thanks so much for watching. If you would like to ask